One-time purchases.
And you need them to survive.
One-time purchases.
And you need them to survive.
One-time purchases.
To survive.
That are not going to be made in 2025.
Doesn't matter. You needed them to survive.
So our spending. Hey, how about we go into the finances and look what we can fix?
I wish he would talk like that to the bitch.
The fix. You spend $120,000 in a year, you dumb.
What the do you mean?
Do you feel any kind of resentment here?
I don't think I would have ever married her. My name is Manny. I'm 28 years old, and we're from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
28, 26.
All right, right here. Thanks for coming to Austin. What do we do for a living? Let's start with Lady, because Lady's in front of me. It's an interesting fake name we've assigned you. Like, why the aren't you Guy? I don't know.
I don't
you
know.
look like someone named Guy.
Well,
okay, what do you do, Lady?
I'm unemployed, so
He look like somebody that's a fucking cuck. That's what he look like.
I'm just home all the time.
All right.
Fatality.
Guy.
So I am currently a substitute teacher. My local
so
high
how
school.
the f are you guys living? No offense. Like, I don't even need to ask the wage for that. I know it's not much. How the f are you living? You also look like a substitute teacher.
Yeah, I know.
So this is like...
Not the tattoo on the right arm.
Okay. So you go in, you put a little DVD into a machine, and they can just sit and go to sleep while you're there.
Oh, I
you
wish.
babysit.
I wish. So
Unless you're a perma sub. Are you perma subs?
we're in every day. Currently, I'm teaching 8th grade integrated science. Our principal had medical emergencies, so the 8th grade science teacher is now the principal. So we kind of all stepped up positions. It's still the same pay, but
Tell me
I am
what you're
teaching.
making.
So it's $175 a day. It's daily pay.
Damn.
It averages
not
to
bad.
about 23 and some change an hour.
Okay, what hits your account on a monthly basis?
If the weeks are full, because we don't get paid for like days school's closed or like spring break or anything, it's $1,400 even every 2 weeks.
Oh, every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. So yeah, $2,800 a month if
so
school's open.
But that is not always, and there's like 3 months where it's definitely not.
Correct. Like this paycheck is only 6 days, so it's going to be rough.
Why? Spring break took up
Spring
that
break.
much?
Spring break was Friday and Monday, and then being here missed 2 days.
Yeah.
So, but I do also have a second job.
Why are you unemployed?
I am an immigrant.
Yeah, you are. I hear the accent now. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, so I'm currently
What? She's a what? She from where? And she don't do shit? I think it's that time. Hold up, let's listen.
trying to get my
You
work.
guys married?
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
How long have you guys been together?
Since June 2022.
Yeah. We've been married for about a year and a half, September of
You
23.
got married in a year?
Yeah.
How long before you get your green card?
Yeah, a little over a year.
Yep.
A little quick, but very happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Zambia, but I am Somali. From Zambia.
She's not from like Italy, France, UK. Like she's not from like a gynocentric. She's from Somalia, Zambia. Them bitches cooking clean. Them bitches is in the house cooking and cleaning, doing something. This bitch don't do nothing. He's cooked.
In Africa.
Were you guys on a different show
In
on TLC
Africa?
before this?
No, 90 Day Fiance.
No.
No, she was over here for school, and we
Yeah.
met on a dating app, and that's kind of what kicked it off.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long until you get this work visa?
I applied for it. I had one, and then it expired in August of 2024.
What are you doing?
I was working customer service.
Okay, but that is money, and we need money in Pittsburgh. Cost of living area, edge of the Rust Belt. Okay, yeah, not horribly the most expensive, but substitute, pay with all the time. Like what the do you do in the summer?
So my second job
You
that I
just
work,
pop at me?
yeah, that I work with concurrent with school is at CVS.
Concurrent with school.
Yes.
Oh wait, no, yeah, working at school, not being in school.
Well, I'm also in school.
You're in
too.
school. What
I'm
are you in school for?
To get my teaching degree for my master's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Masters. Why master? Why are you substitute? What's your bachelor's in?
UX design. So I did an
Why
online
aren't you doing
school.
something UX that makes money?
As soon as I graduated, is when COVID really hit and everyone got laid off. So
COVID really hit. That's when fucking tech hiring went crazy. After a couple months, after like 6 months into COVID, you could have got any job you fucking wanted.
I wish. I applied to over 200 UX
Then you
jobs.
probably sucked at your applications.
Maybe. I did try to
you
do...
didn't have experience for what it's worth, but now engineers where they were like, let's overhire, let's pay whatever is necessary to get them, like right in the middle of COVID, and that is not the case anymore, and it's really hard for a lot of people. But yeah, UX, I get it. It probably wasn't as crazy, but
no.
You had to have some kind of opportunity. Like there's a certain part where it was probably your interview or resume skills.
Well, the problem is getting the interview. So
then it was your resume skills.
Yeah, getting the experience to even get like a resume or
you would have had to do
portfolio.
some contracting jobs. Step in the door, dude.
I try. It's
so
difficult. Yes, I did. It's so difficult to get anything UX. Even with like I had a portfolio website that had like my school projects and stuff on it.
Maybe it wasn't good.
No
offense, I'm hiring people right now, but every time I see a school project, it looks like a school project, and I fucking run away. I would rather almost have no experience than school projects.
I had a good mentor who was he was head of UX at BNY Mellon. So he was local in Pittsburgh because we have a BNY Mellon like building there. And he tried to help me out with portfolio and everything. So I took his tips and everything and still just I couldn't get anything. And so to get money, like right when we started dating, I think.
UX design, right?
Yes. My sister is a full-time teacher up at the like elementary school. And she said, I'd make more money there than what I was doing working at CVS. So I kind of have been there for like 2 years. Realized I enjoyed teaching. So I started to go back and get my master's. So
which I vibe with. I wanted to be a teacher for the longest time. That's why I like making the educational things that we do.
Yeah, and it's really fun. I enjoy it. My last 2 classes finish up in like 2 weeks. I do have my student teaching and my praxis to pass. So hopefully by December of this year, I'll be fully certified and able to start making actual salary.
We see about 16,500 job openings projected each year for web developers and digital designers over the decade. But each year for the remainder of the decade. And we're expecting about Bureau of Labor Statistics is projecting an 8% growth in employment for web developers.
Ever comes. The currency conversion to her country is about 28-1.
What are you talking about?
A lot of this stuff moved in after we got married because we're not allowed to live together before.
I assume your spending will just go up because look where you are. We're at $70,000 a day. Why no? You're confident with the no? You
100% confident.
She already had an income before.
Correct. But
how long has she not had an income?
Since August.
Yeah,
8 months.
See you then.
That is when our credit card
debt. This is not $70,000 in 8 months. That's spending.
Oh my god. $10,000 basically. 3,000.
You.
Well, $70,000 in 8 months. Our spending has skyrocketed because we also moved in after we got married because we're not allowed to live together before we got married.
Oh no, I moved into a place. That means I have to spend $70,000 in 8. What are you talking about, dude?
A lot of our expenses were with her not having a job. We have to put on credit cards.
$70,000. That is you living above your means. You do not need to live on $70,000 in 8 months. That we are talking at that point. You are living off of $110,000 a year. That is, you are not making that up with an income. What are you talking about?
A lot of this stuff over the past year are one-time purchases that are not going to be made in subsequent years.
And you need them to survive.
One-time purchases.
And you need them to survive.
One-time purchases.
And you need them to survive.
This is what I'm talking about. One-time purchases.
To survive.
That are not going to be made in 2025
Doesn't matter.
or 2026.
You needed them to survive.
So our spending
Hey!
What is wrong with this nigga? Can he answer the question? The cucker is coming out.
Our spending is going to go down because of those one-time purchases are no longer on the budget.
Works. Listen. Next year, maybe you'll want to buy a chin.
Yo, Caleb is cooking. Oh my god. Yeah, tell that nigga what's up. Tell that nigga. See, this is the problem with motherfuckers that are cucks is they have a hard time taking in information and listening to men. See what I'm saying? Caleb is here to help you. He's not here to really fuck up your life or make fun of you. He's here to fucking help your dumbass because your dumbass don't know how to control your fucking spending, idiot. But dickhead here trying to be cute in front of the bitch that don't even like him. Like, shit horrible. Perfect. That nigga.
What's gonna happen? At some point, everything gets pushed. Everything, you will find a replacement for that spending. The spending that you did last year that are one time, you're gonna find one-time purchases next year. I only have 4 of these conversations a week. That's it. For 3 years.
So you're saying my position.
Like, and then here go this nigga starts talking again. Nigga, shut up. Stupid. You the nigga in debt. I don't understand niggas. When you're the nigga hanging from the cliff, you shouldn't be talking. You should be quiet. The only thing you should be saying is help, help, somebody. That's all you should be saying. Nigga come to help you. He say do this. You talking about something? Nigga, do it. You the nigga that need help. I don't understand niggas. When a good saying, perfect saying, this will save you for the rest of your life. You don't bite the hand that feeds you. Nigga, you're here for my help. So you shut the fuck up and listen.
Position is the same as everybody else's position, and I'm not unique in any way. So why would I be on this podcast in the first place?
Yeah, basically, because essentially everyone that comes on the show, trust me, I've heard that this show.
Just because our spending was bad in the last 12 months does not mean it's going to be bad in the subsequent 12 months or the 12 months after that.
Behavior just changes because we wake up one day.
We are here to get our behavior changed and look at what we need to change.
I don't change behavior. I will give you advice of what you should and should not do.
And that advice
but you
will help our behavior.
Yeah, if you follow it.
Yes, that's what we want to do is follow it. That's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Okay, fucking bingo. Got it. Ding, ding, ding. Buddy, everyone says that. Again, you think you're unique? You're saying exactly what everyone says every single time.
Okay, I'm here to get help. If I didn't want help, I would not be here.
Then maybe you should fucking listen instead of interjecting. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Interject.
No, go ahead.
There it is. Okay, your one-time purchases that you did last year, you will have one-time purchases for the rest of your life. This is what happens every single time. And even...
Like... That's why your dumb ass picked up this bitch and she don't do nothing. She got her little green. She about to get her green card off your ass. Stupid ass here for school. Yeah, all right.
Even still, she did not have a job since the middle of last year, since after the middle of last year, and you guys chose to live on $120,000. Even if they're one-time purchases, I don't give a you chose to live off of $120,000 a year when you barely make scraps. So I don't give a if they're one-time purchases. You chose that. You chose that.
So how about we go into the finances and look what we can fix?
Buddy, it's a fix. Here's a fix. Let me give you a little fix. This will solve your entire issue, and we can fast forward instead of doing an hour and a half. Here's a fix. Don't spend $120,000 in a year, you dumb ass, making $30,000.
You have to yell at niggas, bro. You have to talk to niggas like this because niggas don't listen. They don't hear shit unless you're in it. Okay. When you see the military, right? They're the most tight-knit group. They're about formation. They're about missions. They're about you see what I'm saying? Like, they're structured. Guess what happens during the drills? Niggas is yelling, "Get your ass up!" They're not playing with you there. They saying it straight to the face. What the fuck are you doing? Niggas have to be talked to that way because it's their heads be a little bit harder. So you have to go straight in for the nigga because they're not going to get it any other way. If he was nice and he's not going to get it. You have to fucking just, like he just did, stop fucking spending so much fucking money, idiot. Just like that.
We were fiscally irresponsible, and that's what we are here to try and fix.
But that is not how this conversation is going to go. Stop trying to control this, okay? You little domineering freak. That is not how this is going to work. I am trying to learn about you.
Yes.
I get into your brain. We figure it out, and then we go through the finances, and then I get to learn about them based on the establishment that you set before of your personality that I get to know about you and why you did the things. Guess what? special guy. I don't know if math teaches this, but when I look in your most recent month, I can't see what you spent in August. So yes, we're having a conversation about what last year looked like that got you into $70,000 of debt.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think the master's degree is going to solve that equation for you. So yeah, we're going to talk about maybe the mistakes you made.
Absolutely. I 100% agree.
So stop with the let's go into the documents then. I know we're going to go into the numbers that happened in the last month.
Okay.
Okay. So why the do you think it is okay to spend $120,000 in a year making 20 to 30?
Never said it was okay.
Then why'd you do it?
Fiscally.
No that you chose to do.
Why did we do it? We were fiscally irresponsible.
That is not an answer. Why did you choose to do it? That is not your choice. The fiscally irresponsible is not the answer. I want to know why the you did it. Self-assessment. Try to get any kind of reflection in your life.
He's trying to say, he wants to say, because I'm a dumbass and I let her fucking cuck me out and use everything in the world. That's all he wanted him to say.
Why did I do it? I don't necessarily have a great answer for it. I'm fiscally irresponsible.
Oh my gosh, buddy, that is not going to be an answer.
But that's why we racked up so much of this debt.
No,
because we spend money on dumb shit.
There we go.
Exactly. There we go. We're breaking it down. We about to rip it open.
Oh, there's an attempt.
Stupid one-time purchases.
So what are you getting? This one-time purchases that you're able to justify for an entire fucking year, which will apparently never happen again in the rest of your life.
I never said that.
Okay, then why are we...
What? He literally said one-time purchase that would never happen again.
Defending ourselves like it's just one-time purchases that'll never happen again.
Because certain one-time purchases will never be made again. I have already
sure,
looked
but
at
they will be replaced with other one-time purchases.
What I don't want to do is replace them.
They always will.
But you say they always will. They don't necessarily have to always be.
With your discipline, if you choose to.
I know, that's what I need to work on is my fiscal discipline.
Yeah, so let's learn about why you did those in the past. Tell me, what were you purchasing, dude? Instead of just saying, I'm fiscally irresponsible and trying to move on. What the did you actually do?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't know we spent $70,000 a year. That's why.
Oh, man. Oh, man. It's not a real nigga. He should just say, we was doing this. I was spending. That's what I'm saying. This conversation is so easy, bro. This conversation is so fucking easy. I was doing this, man. You're here for a reason. You're already on here talking about you're a substitute teacher. We know you don't make bread. It's the jig is up, nigga. Like, come on, bro.
Why I'm saying
Can
I
you
don't know what
answer
these
the
are.
question, guy? You don't need to sit here and try to look good.
I don't know what we spent that money on. The $70,000.
You can't reflect to 3 months ago.
$12,000.
You keep bringing up one-time purchases. Tell me about any of them.
Couches one-time purchase.
Oh, he figured it out. He was able to get an answer. We got there 10 minutes later.
Couches one-time purchase. TV one-time purchase. All the stuff we've had to move in. Whether it's
$70,000. Couches.
That's
TV?
what I'm saying. I don't know what this $70,000 is. All the stuff we've had to move in. Plates, dishes.
You needed a TV to survive.
Well, we've had our TVs. But,
okay, so that wasn't it then.
Okay, so desks for her to sew, sewing machine for her to sew.
Okay.
So she can try and make some supplemental income when she's allowed to work.
How much have we made?
None so far because
Throw the desk away. Fuck are we buying desks for?
Okay, so
she's not allowed to make any money, whether it's cash or in the bank
then maybe
account.
we shouldn't have purchased for something she can't
That's
do.
when she was allowed to work.
And did you make any money doing that?
no.
Okay, so bullshit. Keep going.
I like her. I like her because she knows she don't give a fuck about this nigga, so she gotta lie. She about to get her green card. I'm walking out here with my green card. Like, smart. Can't stand these hoes. Fuck, they so smart.
I don't even know what other one-time purchases could be. Lots of food, lots of, your passport doesn't really count because you had to get that. But going on vacation to Ocean City.
Yes, that is necessary for surviving and moving into a new place. This fucking guy. What are you
that.
Yo, Caleb is stupid, bro. I love this guy. This guy is real shit right here.
Technically, that was before, but
How about you talk about since fucking the unemployment?
That's
Because your
insane.
entire let's frame back. Let's get to where this started. You specifically said we are going to get out of debt when she gets income because everything's going to change because we got income. However, obviously, mathematically, you can do that part. You know that is not why you're in this debt.
Correct.
Because no amount of income she gets, unless she gets a 6-figure job, would make up for the kind of spending you guys did last year. So tell me what the fuck you guys were doing since she got unemployed.
spending money on dumb shit. Also, I don't really
You said it was just one-time purchases.
Also, I don't really have the money coming in to kind of
Hey, how about you work like a fucking man then?
I am working. What the fuck do you mean?
You took 3 months off when she was unemployed.
I didn't take 3 months off.
It was summer break.
I worked over the summer.
What'd you do?
I work at CVS.
You said you weren't bringing in money. You would have been bringing in money if you were working
They
at
let
CVS.
me work 30 hours a week.
Okay,
30
so
hours a
that
week at
is
$19
money.
an
Then
hour.
don't say you didn't bring in money.
I never said that.
Did he not just say
I
he didn't
legitimately
make
never
money?
said that. No, I work at CVS while I work during school, and over the summer they don't
No, I remember him saying he did work at CVS over the summer.
let me work full time. They let me work 30 hours a week.
Who doesn't?
CVS.
Okay.
Because they can't transition me from part time to full time because of benefits.
But you pick up a second job somewhere else.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. Over the
no,
summer.
last year. I don't give a shit about right now. We're still talking about last summer, trying to follow along.
Yeah.
Why didn't you work a second job?
Because she was still working over the summer.
She got unemployed in August. Why didn't you pick up
School
a second
started
job?
in August.
Why couldn't you pick up a job in the evenings? You don't make enough
I work
money.
at CVS in the evenings.
It was CVS in the evenings.
I work at CVS.
Why aren't you working at CVS right now?
I am.
Why didn't you say that? That's what you do for a living. How am I
to
able to
be
give
fair-
answers without a full picture?
Listen, to be fair, you cut me off after I said substitute teacher, and I never got to go back into that
How much do you make at
conversation.
CVS now?
It's about $19 an hour.
How many hours a week are we currently working?
During school, it's about 10 hours a week. I work there Mondays and Tuesdays after
You can do more than that.
I work there Mondays and Tuesdays after school. They don't let you work Saturdays, Sundays. Sundays are only open for
Are there
overnight
other
shift.
weekdays other than Monday and Tuesday?
Yes.
Might need to check your
I
calendar
also
for that
have
one.
my schooling that I have to do.
Okay, and when does that take place?
I do my schooling Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm in online school.
When are the classes? What time?
It's all asynchronous. So I do it whenever I have time. There's no like live lectures. They're
Oh,
all
good.
just posted.
Okay, so you can work after school
But
for a
if-
few hours.
Yeah, I do work. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if I come home at CVS, I usually get home 9 p.m.
Mhm.
I have to wake up at 6 a.m. to go to school. If I do my schooling after
So you're
that,
doing
I'm
the thing
dead.
that the rest of us have done all throughout life when we have
Right,
to
what the
sacrifice,
fuck?
and maybe you get a little less sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, to pay the bills for your fucking wife, the roof over her head, since she doesn't have a choice to work. Yeah, you man up a little.
Okay. I completely agree. That's why I'm looking
Good,
for
which is why you didn't do that.
that's why I'm looking
I love
for
how this
second
guy's
jobs
just like,
right now.
we're going to do this. Everything's going to be good. This is one-time purchase. Everything's going to be good in the future. You're right. I will do that. I'm here. Guys, I was just financially insecure. How about, like, fucking, that's not how this works. You don't just get out of a pushback by saying, you're right, I'm just going to do it. No! Why weren't you? Because I can't just believe
Why
you're
weren't I
going to
doing it?
do something if you're just going to say.
Because when I'm already working in school and I'm already working that second job for 2 of those days a week, the other 3 days
hey,
I'm
CVS
doing
won't
schooling.
let you work on the weekend?
No.
Cool,
they
go
won't.
to McDonald's.
Why would I want to go work at McDonald's? Sure, $15 an hour.
Money.
Hooked his ass. You see him? Stuck.
Morning?
Money?
Yeah, money. I have schooling I have to do as well.
Okay, you didn't say that. You said Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Again, how am I able to have any kind of assessment if you refuse to answer a question sufficiently?
I am perfectly capable of working, but I don't want to work 7 days a week.
I don't give a fuck what you
every
want.
single
You're
day.
under by $1,000 and you have a wife who can't work and it is not her fault.
Yeah, but I am not working 7 days a week
Yes, you
while I
are.
am in school.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to fail school. That's going to be more student loan money that I'm going to have
But
to
you
do.
said you did school Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You did not say Saturday and Sunday.
I do school Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You did not say Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. Okay, like maybe I could pick up a second job.
Yes, that's what I just said. That's literally what I just said.
That's what I'm trying to do for the summer right now. I'm applying to jobs currently.
Not for the summer. I'm saying
Okay, if they hire me now, I'll do it. But I'm applying
you can
for these
say
jobs.
so many. You can run the rest of this conversation of, yes, you're right. I will do that. I want to know why you didn't do it because I will have no faith. It's just like someone who comes on, has all this debt and says, I'm just going to pay it off in the next year. By the way, that's exactly what they just said earlier in the conversation. How can I have any kind of belief in that if you have not been doing that? That is why I am trying to ask questions as to why you are not doing something so we can diagnose and find a way to get you to actually do it in the future. The answer of, I was just financially insecure and I'm not going to be. That's not a fucking answer, buddy. You do not get anywhere in life with that.
So why I didn't work?
Yes, why you're not working on Saturdays and Sundays.
Because I'm lazy. That's my time to recuperate from the week.
Great.
Could I have done
You married
better?
a lazy man
Could I
who's
have
not
done-
willing to keep the roof over
Could
your
I
head.
have done
How does
better?
that feel?
She has a roof over her head, actually.
For now.
Oh God! For now.
Stupid. $1,000 in the negative every single month. We'll see how long that lasts. You married a lazy man. How does that feel?
I don't think he's lazy.
Really?
I think he's okay.
He's not willing to work Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I think he should take a break as well.
You don't want the bills paid.
He does pay the bills, but I think
You are under by $1,000 and debt is going up and we're at the $70,000 since you went unemployed. What are we talking about? You're going further in debt. That's not paying the bills. Do we know what paying the bills are? a little concerned that both of you do not know what paying the bills are. Which makes me a little nervous for the future of this conversation. Going in debt is not paying the bills. We do realize this, right? That is actually additional bills now?
Yeah, but he is working 2 jobs and going to school, so I do not think he's lazy.
He is not making enough when he has time to go make more money, and he is choosing not to. And he just said, because I'm lazy. That was his own words. He literally just said he was lazy.
Yeah, but I don't think he's lazy.
Oh my gosh. He's not making enough money when he has the choice to go make more money. I don't know what to do. Sucks. It sucks not to have a break. It sucks not to have a break. We all want to have a break, but we all sacrifice in the time of need. And you're in the time of need. So you fucking do it. I'm not thrilled to say go do it. I don't fucking want to see you be out there. No, never. Well, what? I don't want to see you. Thing. I don't want to see you, just working away. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm currently applying to jobs, and that's what sucks is like I'm going to have to work these 7 days a week until her work permit comes in, but that's a crapshoot when it comes in. They basically said because they fired USCIS representatives, everything's getting pushed back, so we don't know. Currently in the process of applying for jobs, but it all depends on who gets back to me. I have remote jobs I've applied for. I have, like local Harbor Freight, Home Depot, Target, that sort of thing.
Do them.
I'm just waiting to hear back. Like, that's the thing.
What is your resume? Because you're the only person in the entire world that will apply to thousands of jobs and not get one interview.
That's not true. That's not true. I also applied to multiple jobs.
Okay, no offense. You're in a very unique situation.
Yeah.
True.
You do not qualify.
Does she have makeup on
yours
her nose?
before, like, you have to, because your social says you can't work. You had to put like, hey, I can only work till August of 24, and people aren't going to hire you for that.
Yeah, but that's not what I had in my resume.
Yeah. But I mean, like, it does suck that like we're in this position, and like, obviously I want to take care of my wife. Like, I want her to be like happy, and we're not in debt and all this stuff.
You want to, but then you don't need the one-time purchases. I'm still not aligned with. I do not accept your one-time purchases. You chose to do them. If we are caring about the household, it is not getting a fucking dream bed frame or whatever. I don't even know. The couch.
Yeah.
We don't need that. We get a used couch off of Facebook Marketplace.
And I think looking back into like us making those one-time purchases.
Fuck a couch, nigga. Get an air mattress, nigga. Get that air mattress right out of fucking Walmart. That air mattress couch, nigga. Fuck is wrong with you?
The moment it felt like we had the finances for it, but obviously looking back on it now, seeing how much debt that we're in, it's a huge mistake, right? Like, we're in all of this debt because we were stupid when we had the money. But I think now we can use that as a learning experience and to not do those stupid mistakes going forward.
Okay, let's play a little game I like to call special little game.
It's a good name.
Again, just self-assessing where you guys are at, and then we're gonna jump into numbers, which is what you really, really want. You guys like, we gotta get into the numbers. Okay, I want you guys to point to the person you think is the cause of this, okay? I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to point to, it can be pointing to yourself. You can be pointing to each other at the same time, okay?
Okay.
So at the moment after I ask it, make the point, okay? Who is the most likely to hide their spending? Okay. It's interesting. We'll get into that. Whose financial spending is sabotaging the relationship? Who is currently more responsible for the relationship's financial stressors? Oh, we both think it's ourselves. And between the two of you, who needs financial audit the most? You both think it's yourselves. So why are you both? Because you both just thought you were for the last two.
So I think the second to last question, why she thinks like the financial situation sabotages her, is because I think she feels like she's a burden on the relationship because she's not able to make an income.
Not only that, I do not like to cook, so I like to get some takeout a lot.
Why do you think he said himself?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. He's your fucking husband. I hope you know something about him. Why does he think it's him?
Yeah, I don't think he spends more than I do.
Why do you think he thinks it's him?
I don't know.
Lady, that's not good. That is not good that you can't even like get in the brain of your man. Oh boy. Okay. And when it was most likely to hide their spending, you both pointed to her. What the fuck are you hiding?
I'm not hiding anything, but I like to buy skins in video games and not tell him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals, she loves it. But if someone were to hide it, it would be her with like video game stuff. Like
and whose financial spending is sabotaging a relationship? You both pointed to you.
Yeah.
Why?
So I mean, a lot of the burden, all the burden for financial stuff falls to me when it comes with like making money and
but
stuff.
This is spending. Financial spending is sabotaging
And
a
so
relationship.
with the spending,
let me guess,
and
the
stuff,
one-off purchases that'll never happen to get in our entire lives.
So with the spending and stuff, a lot of the stuff that we spend, like, I don't necessarily have to like approve it, but we both talk about it, and if like I don't agree on it, it won't be spent. So like if she wants to go and spend a bunch of money at Ulta,
Well, is that why you guys pointed to her for the secretive spending?
I don't.
Do you feel like you do secretive spending because he won't give permission if you ask?
It's not that he won't give permission, but I know what I'm gonna spend on is dumb, and I just don't want to tell him that I'm spending my money on dumb
And
stuff.
you know he won't agree with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that I won't approve it because like
Well, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with her just go spending without the communication of
I think
it?
we have like a boundary. Like she's not gonna go nuts with like
Well, what do we qualify?
like maybe once a month she buys like a $20 skin for
Well, that's not crazy, but is that all we're talking that's happening?
like she doesn't ever financially.
You don't do
hide
more
stuff.
than that.
No,
I don't
she
do more
went
than,
one
like,
time.
$20.
It was with Luce, one of your friends.
Okay, I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1, go. On go, I want you guys to give me your household financial score of where you think you are. 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. 3, 2, 1.
5.
8.
Do you want to translate?
For me or for her?
Well, she thinks it's an 8. I feel like you should deal with that.
I think it's good.
I think she thinks because
Buddy, you have $70,000 in debt.
because we have a roof over our heads, we have cars, like our.
You know all that can be taken away. You bragged about the roof over your head a second ago when I said, okay, he's not making enough to be able to actually do that. You know that is not a permanent thing. Roofs can be taken away because you do not own your roof.
But those like mandatory expenses that we have, so like health insurance, roof over our head, groceries, that sort of stuff, that is all 100% taken care of.
Then
with
why
what
is
I
last
make.
month $1,000 more than we brought in?
So the mandatory expenses are covered. The extra stuff is the stuff.
Are
that's
you
kind
okay
of
with that?
fucking us.
$1,000 more than is coming in being spent? 800.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
What the fuck did you attach yourself to, dude?
she is very.
Yeah, it sounds like from what you were saying earlier, you want to change. And I vibe with that. I didn't like the answers you were giving because they felt like cop-outs. However, I do feel that you want to change. How are you guys going to stay together with that mindset? Because that mindset is beyond conflicting with what you want to do.
Sometimes it can be a struggle to do this stuff because she's very like happy minded and like go lucky with the attitude and stuff, and I tend to be more looking on the negative side of the aspect.
It's not just negative. You want to change, but she's okay with spending $1,000 than you guys make. She's literally okay with that. How can you guys ever vibe on money? Ever?
I'm okay with it, but I also do want to change very much.
How do you how that doesn't make any sense. How can you do both? How can you be okay with spending 30% more than is coming in, but you want to change? That doesn't make sense.
It's hard. Like I said, she has that happy-go-lucky mindset. So my impression of it
ain't hard. You tell that bitch, shut up, stop spending money. Fuck, ain't shit hard.
is she thinks everything is okay,
Stupid.
even if we're spending 30% more, because we have food on the table, we have a place to live, we have cars, medical insurance, she has her doctor's appointments and all that. But she also does know, like, the position we're in is not okay, having to balance transfer credit cards and all that sort of stuff. I just think she's trying to look on the brighter side of it and say it's okay because we still have a place to live and we have food on the table.
All right, if you want your Hammer financial score, want to see where you stand in the world of finances, go to calebhammer.com or click the link in the description below. And make sure you take advantage of our budgeting apps so you don't end up like them. And if you sign up for the annual version, I will sign our cookbook that you can't purchase or get anywhere, and I'll mail it directly to you. So make sure you download the budgeting app today, also in the description. Come on the show, calebhammer.com/apply here in Austin, Texas. We'd be happy to have you. Okay. Oh, you've been waiting for it your entire life. The dude's about to fucking come.
I like to look
We're
at the
about
numbers.
to talk about Discover.
The numbers are bad, but I like to look at them.
He loves to look at how bad they get. It's his little kink. Okay.
I didn't know they were that bad.
What's his
They are bad.
kink? I can tell he's a freak.
Mm-mm.
He likes getting pegged, doesn't he?
No.
What, you guys sisters? Is that what you were just
No,
telling me?
I'm vanilla.
Hmm.
I don't think you believe me.
Okay.
What the fuck does that mean?
$9,336 on this Discover It card. What the fuck is that? With purchases, only the minimum monthly payment being made, and then interest of $34.64 being made. How long does this take to pay off? You might know. So how long does this take to pay off if you only do the minimum monthly payments without purchasing, which, by the way, isn't capable in your household because you're okay with spending 30% more than you make? Go ahead. How long does this take to pay off only doing minimum monthly payments, no purchases?
Maybe a year or two.
That's interesting. 26 years.
26 years?
Yeah,
Making just
before
the
we go to
minimum.
Zambia.
Yeah.
Zambia.
Oh, well, I thought it was
Yeah.
like 1 to 2 years.
No, it's just the
26
minimum.
years. Yeah, maybe don't spend 30% more than you make.
Damn.
Because that was a balance transfer from Amex.
That's why sometimes it's worth working on the weekend, even when we're tired. Not that we want to, not that we want other people to. I don't want people to conflate that wrong. But sometimes, look where it puts us. 26 years. And the longer we put that off by making less, and spending more, the longer that goes. That gets to 30 years before you know it. That gets to 35 years before you know it. That gets to your deathbed before you know it.
You don't really run into these problems unless unless you're a cuck, unless you're a simp. Yeah, unless you're a simp, you don't run into these problems.
That minimum monthly payment alone, stacked on what I'm guessing is even more similar ones, for your income situation is a disgusting minimum monthly payment.
The bright side of that was that it's still interest free for.
What? No interest is being charged, $34.64.
That's a balance transfer on her Discover. So that should still be interest free
Hold
for.
on, no. Well, hold on 1 second.
Because we
No,
have,
no, buddy. There, first of all, that is 4%. So it's not interest free. You are 4% on $9,222. But then, yes, of $232, you are facing nearly 18%. So no, there is still interest happening. 4% is not the end of the world, but it is still brutal. That is 4% on a large number, making your minimum monthly payment higher on an income that can barely afford it. And why are we balance transferring like that?
interest.
The interest. Now, what happens a lot psychologically, of course, we know people balance transfer. They think they've made the progress, so they don't do anything more. And it is being suggested in your overall behavior that that potentially is mentally what you guys thought because you did not make more than a minimum monthly payment. So you guys let your foot off the gas when you do something like this.
Well, for that card in particular, we've only been making the minimum monthly payments because we've been paying off other cards.
We'll see. I'll go through the debt. That better be the case, and I hope that's the case.
I paid off one card and a personal student loan.
I mean, they're telling me you're about to buy a new fucking fan.
A fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like what kind of fan? Like
just
$20
like
fan?
a cheap room fan, yeah. Like we want to get like a nice fan because
So that you can use the balcony?
because our AC is so expensive for our electric bill because our big patio door that we have is sealed horribly. So it constantly runs
You
the
can
AC.
kind of fix that handyman style, though.
Well, so the building is super old. So all of the stuff, like the rubber around the door, is all like off, and the building's not going to replace that unless they have to replace the whole patio door, and they will not replace the whole patio door. So we have for the summer we have big, or for the winter we have big.
And this was your everyday spending card, historically?
the
Used to
Amexes.
be.
Oh, the one that you
Yeah.
transferred into this?
Yeah.
Why do you have an everyday spending card? A credit card. You guys are not credit card people. You don't know how to manage that to save your life. You put one-time purchases that'll never happen again for the rest of your life over these. Because no one ever buys more than one couch.
Yeah. So like, even with the fan, like our electric bill, just trying to get that high, we have big plastic tarps over our windows right now.
I'm okay with the $20 fan. That's not the big.
Yeah.
That's not the big issue for me. It's just like it's the behavior that got us here in the first place that we're certainly not fixing because we spent $800 more than came in
Last month. $450 of that should have been for her passport, which is like
$450 out of 800.
Yeah.
We're talking about half. Come on, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be going out to eat literally once if we're in our negative. If we're in the red, we're not going out to eat once. I don't give a shit.
And that's a big problem that we have is like she sometimes doesn't want to cook, and I am a
not a choice.
cook.
You don't have a fucking job.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. That's not like traditional values or anything. I don't give a fuck. You don't have a job. That's your job because you guys can't afford anything. That's just math.
Yeah, and so to go out to like Sheetz or Dairy Queen or
No,
why
the fuck is that even a choice? Why is that a choice? Why do you feel like you don't get to participate in the making progress?
Because I hate cooking.
I don't give a fuck. He probably hates working his extra job.
Yeah, but I hate cooking. So.
I don't give a.
He's like, finally, somebody's stepping up for me. I could never speak. She would never let me fucking talk. Finally, somebody's fighting for me. He saw him shaking his head. He said, finally, shit. I'll be too scared to say this shit.
He probably hates working his extra job. Can we say something that wasn't just copy and pasted? Do it. Just do it. Just like you didn't want to do the thing that was required at your last job when it was your job. Maybe you just have to do it. Why don't you meal prep a couple times a week so you just warm it up? So it's not a fresh cook every single time.
Yeah, but we both do not like leftovers.
I don't care what you guys like. Stop using this word. Like, I don't give a you.
I'm telling you, she run that relationship. That's why when nigga was like, we got a fan? She's like, yeah. She be spending all that nigga money. She be using them credit cards, running that boy dry.
Stupid. Do you guys realize that your debt is getting worse? You can lose your roof over your head if you can't pay rent, and when your debt gets worse, your minimum monthly payments go higher, which means, at some point we might not be able to pay our rent. That roof over your head, that precious roof that we really like. Yeah. So I don't give a fuck about I like or don't like. I like the roof over your head. I like survival. Can we choose that, please? Can we choose any inkling of responsibility? You guys are in your upper to mid 20s, mid to uppers. You can act like adults, I promise.
I can try, but I don't know if I could actually do it.
What the fuck are you doing here, dude? What was this a desperate attempt at marriage? Like,
No.
what are we trying to do?
No.
She's okay with spending more money. I'm sorry, I'm being rude, but I don't give a like, she's okay with spending more money, you're not. You're willing to sacrifice by going and working your ass off. She's not willing to literally cook a meal.
What the fuck are we doing?
How do you guys like vibe and last together?
There's behaviors that have to change on both of our parts, and those are behaviors that have to change. I have to work more. She has to maybe like step up a little bit when it comes to household stuff.
But you're at least
she does
applying
clean.
for jobs. She's not making the steps towards stepping up.
Yeah. So like these are things that we have to work on in our relationship and stuff. And I think this is kind
Be
of
honest with me. Not like don't mince your words just because it's right here. Do you feel any kind of resentment here?
No,
with this?
I
really
love her very, very much. There's no resentment.
There's nothing. There is no part of the fact that she's not willing to sacrifice, but you're willing to sacrifice everything.
I don't use the word resentment. There are times that I wish she would cook sometimes, but never do I resent her in any way.
Okay.
Like I would if I ever felt any sort of
Nigga lying through his teeth right now. He know he hate this bitch. He know he hate this motherfucker. That's why we here for this motherfucker.
resentment towards her, I don't think I would have ever married her.
But in reality, we really here for this motherfucker. Cause the only way she can do what she doing is if he allow it. Okay? Women only do what you allow them to do. He said, look, baby, here's my ball. Step on him. She's stomping on him. She's going to stomp on him. Don't think she's not going to stomp on him just because she's a female. They don't give a fuck. She's going to make sure she stomp on him with the heels. Nigga. Might even dig her foot in there. Y'all niggas got to wake up.
I don't know. You guys married after a year.
We did. I think we were both kind of at that stage in our lives where we realized, we were perfect for each other. So that's why we got married. We vibed very, very well together. Our finances,
How were we
horrible.
perfect for each other?
That's what I'm saying.
Are you sure we weren't perfect for the situation?
No, situation. I was looking for a girlfriend. She wasn't looking for anybody. But
were you looking to stay?
No.
Mm-mm.
You were going to go back to Zambia?
Yeah.
Zambia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
she
plan
was.
was to go back home.
I got to look up where Zambia is.
Yeah, she was fully set on going back home, and then we ended up dating and realized we both have the same goals in life. Don't want kids.
It's a cool flag.
And all that sort of stuff. So I think we kind of just hit off based on what our future expectations were.
You sure you guys want to live there?
Yeah.
Where she lives in the capital city, so it's very nice.
I get it. It's just in that like equator belt.
Yeah, the copper belt.
That is just like so hard to develop because of just so many natural problems that aren't even people's faults. It's like no deep water ports, endless diseases, very hard to tame nature there.
And
it's just like, is that where if we get to choose to live somewhere, is that what we're choosing? It's not an African thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it was south and north, but that middle part, that's just rough. That's just rough
The rough
nature-wise.
thing about it is big reason why we're not going over now is because they have load shedding, so they shut off your electricity for part of the day, like every day.
That's where I want to
And
live.
their internet is absolutely atrocious.
And I know you're addicted to that, so that's like...
Yeah, but the quality of
crazy.
life there is so much better than here.
It's cheaper. Like once you buy a house
In
there,
which way?
if
many
you
ways.
buy a house over
Zika?
there, it's yours forever.
Nigga said the quality of life is better after he just said they have to shut off the electricity for part of the day. Oh my god. What am I listening to? Nigga said the quality of life is better. And they, in the same sentence, said they have to shut off the electricity for part of the day. Stupid.
There's no property tax. If you don't pay your utilities, it doesn't matter. That house
Yeah.
is yours until
Well,
you die.
There's no utilities to pay for sometimes. They turn them off.
Oh, well, you still pay for them.
I mean, you still pay
good.
for them,
Yeah.
yeah, but they turn them off.
But it's much
I love
cheaper.
paying for things I don't get.
But everything over there is much,
Yeah,
much cheaper.
it's much cheaper. And it's for a reason. It's because you also don't like make anything.
Yeah, and they don't have credit, like a credit system over there. So there's
Yeah.
no like mortgages or credit cards. It's if you want a car or a house, you pay.
How much is a
upfront.
house?
You can get a house like US dollars anywhere between like 20 for something like kind of,
This is why you don't need a
Lower.
loan for it.
or they have houses that go up to like 300,000-400,000 US that are like giant mansions
Which
over
I'm
there.
sure you can find a loan for it.
Yeah, probably, but I don't really know the
think
market.
I don't think that we have loans for homes. There are no loans for
You're
homes at
literally
all.
saying no one could find a loan for a home in Zambia.
Well, last time I was there was nothing like that.
Could
Yeah.
be new. It's been a couple of years. But like cars over there, like you buy your car full cash, no interest payments.
How much is a car?
About maybe 5K.
Okay, see,
Five,
this makes it
10K.
like we're going and get a new car here. We're talking 40, 50.
Oh, yeah,
so
insane.
like it's a different situation. And yes, you can borrow to buy a home in Zambia. Several financial institutions offer various mortgage products tailored to different needs, including purchasing, building, or renovating a home. Zambian National Building Society, Zambian Home Loans, Zambian Static Bank Zambia.
Why the fuck did this nigga really think this bitch was telling the truth? Told me so you can't get a loan in Zambia for a house. Bitch, what? Are you stupid?
Saba Bank Zambia, Zambian National Commercial Bank.
Yeah, but I have
get what
never
you're
heard
saying.
it. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. There's a reason. When people brag about why something is so cheap, there's a reason.
Yeah.
And you also, it's the cost of living. When everything's very expensive in the Bay Area, you also make it significantly more.
Yeah.
But do it if you guys want to. I'm certainly not against it.
Yeah. I'm
Not
fully
against
in.
it.
I'm obviously have to repay stuff off because making a Zambian salary over there is not going to pay like student loans that
Well,
I
yeah,
still have
that's
to do
my
over
issue.
here.
And we have $70,000 to pay off, but no behavioral change.
But a lot of the compromise that we would get from living over there, I'd be perfectly
I
happy
bet
with.
you there will be some once in a lifetime purchases once you move there. Blue cash every day. What's going on with this card?
So that's our everyday spender. I opened that maybe 3 years ago and then put her on as an authorized user after we got married.
Ooh.
So that's kind of what we spend up until a month ago when we got a Sam's Club card. Spend groceries on, gas on.
You paid last month's off. We're at $1,079. Is this always paid off?
Not always, but the balance on that one, I usually put well over the minimum on that. I usually put $400 a month towards that.
Well, that wouldn't pay it off. We're at $1,079.99. Let's just put the minimum monthly payment for budgeting purposes $40. Okay, 4 years just to pay that off. By the way, if you only do minimums, Wendy's, Spotify. Aren't you gonna miss Wendy's?
I will miss Wendy's. That's where our first date was.
Wingstop. Aren't you gonna miss Wingstop?
No.
Raising Cane's. Aren't you gonna miss Raising Cane's?
I will.
Sheets, Hulu, Dairy Queen. It's just like we just can't be like when we're literally under on a monthly basis, or even if we're breaking even, but this month we have a big passport thing, right? Then you have to cut on this stuff. That is just what an adult does. That is what someone who is sacrificing do. And guess what? Your sacrifice of having to work more is now because you refuse to sacrifice and cut your spending before, and you've gotten yourself in debt where your minimum monthly payments are higher. You are now forcing yourself. Like you could have maybe worked an extra, 5-10 hours a week to break even before, but then you chose to spend way more than you made. So now you're forcing yourself to work an extra 20-30 hours a week. And that is no longer a sympathy. Oh, I'm sorry you have to do that, because you chose to do that now. You chose to make the spending that has boosted these minimum monthly payments to where you no longer have a choice. Are there any big expenses coming up too, like that passport?
So she just had in the past 2 weeks 4 fillings. We do have dental insurance.
Good, but usually that isn't. It's not great.
It only covers 50%ish, I think. So for her 4 fillings out of pocket, that was about $400.
God damn.
And then she has 2 of her wisdom teeth coming out at the end of next month.
How much is that going to cost?
So they gave us the bill before insurance because they don't know what insurance is going to cover. It's $1,400 before insurance. So usually they said insurance covers maybe a little over half, 65%ish. So maybe around $500 to $700, depending on what they cover. And then she's had dental work 14-ish fillings over the past year and a half.
Oh my, yeah.
And
that's crazy.
That was before we had insurance. So that was all out of pocket, which was probably around $4,000 total.
Oh.
And that was Care Credit credit card. That was all interest free for 12 months that we paid off. So that's all paid off, but it was still $4,000 for all of her dental work. Because they don't, how we do in America, go to the dentist every 6 months. They don't. They go when their teeth hurt. So her teeth never hurt. Zambians.
Back home.
Ooh.
Zambians.
Yeah, plus I also don't like going to dentist at all.
Yeah.
Well, no one likes to.
Yeah, but hopefully after these teeth are done, I mean, half of her teeth are filled, so she should be okay.
Okay. Teeth are not one-time purchases.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but they also exist for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Until you pull them out. So no, that's not how that's going to work. More work will be done in the future if you both want to keep all your teeth.
I think big reason why she got a lot of the dental work done at the beginning was because she never really saw a dentist over in Zambia because her teeth never hurt. When we started going every 6 months here, they went, oh my God, like you have so many cavities.
I'm sure you had a lot more sugar when you came here.
Yeah.
It comes in our diet.
Yeah, so hopefully now with her seeing the dentist every 6 months and she's taking care of her teeth much, much better, that maybe only 1 filling every now and then rather than 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So hopefully much, much cheaper.
Yeah, and apparently you can just go crazy on birthdays. You got them a fucking massive Oculus, Black Limited Edition Steelers tickets / coins, fucking couples massages. This is like you guys are spending so much money when one is not working and the other one makes peanuts. You guys are living a lifestyle that you're not even close to. And it is putting you in such a bad place. And still, I really don't care. Like, live wherever. I'm cheeky. I make jokes, whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's like, you guys are living the bougie lifestyle. Like, how's that going to translate to over there? It's like, I'm very curious to see the kind of lifestyle you guys live over there. But either way, you're never paying off the debt and saving up the money that you want to live, make it over there. If you got $1 million saved up, compound interest and all that good stuff, by the time, you could live like kings, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like, you're never going to get there if you're living a $120,000 lifestyle like you guys refuse not to do, essentially, off of $20,000, $30,000 a year income. So I don't know how we're ever going to get to that Zambian point.
So the bougie in Zambia, and even making $20,000 here is rich for.
I get that, but it's the lifestyle. Like, you have access to all that stuff over there that you like to do. In either way, okay, great. So, and that's if a coup doesn't happen.
That's true.
I'm just saying, if you're living the $120,000 a year lifestyle now while making 30, how are you ever going to pay off this debt and save up the amount of money that you want to have to live over there so you don't have to make that, median salary or whatever? Now, I looked up their GDP per capita, not even the median salary, but let's say you make $1,000 a month. You want to save up more money to live that higher lifestyle there. How do you get there if you're living off 120 now?
Yeah, so I think this shows kind of the big kick in the ass that both of us need. To essentially change everything that we're doing with how we're spending money. Obviously I'm going to need to work more whenever she gets to work, overtime if they allow it. So I think this is the big kick in the ass we need to get that debt away. So. And then we can save up for a couple of years and then we could be perfectly fine living over there. It's not a guarantee that we go over there in 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or whatever. We'll just get to it whenever that comes around, but we do need to pay off this.
Yeah, bro is cooked out right now.
Debt first, that is number one priority to us.
With a master's degree, with a lot of experience in Zambia, you can make about $3,000 as a math teacher. But if you go private, you can get $5,000 a year.
Okay.
That's good.
U.S. or Kwacha? U.S. money or Kwacha? That's
U.S.
our currency.
Okay.
That's good.
For Kwacha, you can go up to 106, 820 Kwachas.
Because what did you make over there when you were working logistics?
$10K.
Yeah, it was 800 US a month.
Yeah.
And that was good salary for them.
Yay. Let's do that again. Okay, City Double Cash. And I love this card. I use this card, but you guys are not credit card people. And the last one, yeah, you're right. You paid off the last balance, but you did have interest accruing this year, showing that you do not always pay off the balance, meaning you're not credit card people. Don't use credit cards. It doesn't make sense. It takes 11 years to pay off this card. You're only making minimum payment. Looks like it's at a 0% period right now, but $3,092.50 is your minimum. Oh, is your balance with a minimum payment of $41. 11 years to pay off. But interest kicks in a year.
Yeah.
No, less than a year. It's 9 months.
Yeah. Yeah, that one I think we transferred over in December. That was from the Amex.
Transfer. So it's transfers to transfer. Our transfers to transfer.
Yeah.
It's again, if we're transferring to transfer, you never get out of debt and never save up the stockpile, the arsenal that you need to get over there.
My thought process for balance transferring these was if we kept that whole balance on the Amex card, being that that's at a 27% interest rate, we wouldn't be able to make those minimums.
I get that, but again, you're only making the minimums and you're never going to be able to go find Coney, okay?
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah, my thought process was do that, make the minimums until she can hopefully get her work permit, and then we can try and hammer down on those, since I would like to pay the credit cards off first before student loans or anything, because they're the highest interest rate. And then we can hammer down on those. But you just defer. It's just to kick the can down the road. Yeah.
I really get that. And I haven't seen a card that we're making that okay, this is where we're putting all our energy. Because even still, on that one card where you paid off the balance, but you don't always, and you're certainly not this next month, you're still spending on it, which is not our hyper focus, Yeah.
Do you think it would have been a better use to keep all of those balances on one card? Or do you think what we did...
It's less about that. It's about what you do after what you did.
Yeah.
You're not doing the hyper focus. You're doing the foot off the gas that a lot of people fear. Dave Ramsey is super against credit card transfers and is against consolidation. I'm not.
Yeah.
But with stipulation, not to do what you're doing, which is where you don't bring that intensity to it. When you see interest going away and being hit from it, you bring that intensity, and that's why people like Dave are against it.
Yeah.
So it's the what you do after, and what you're doing after.
I think it was my thought process at the time was to have that be on no interest or that 4% interest on that Discover one.
I understand that.
Just to give us a little bit of more leeway to try and pay some stuff off, but we don't have the money to pay the stuff off. That's the struggle.
Because you still spend money.
Yeah.
We saw the spending. And apparently you collect sports cards, so there's even more spending.
Don't spend money on them, though. I got the
Wait, you like find them under a dumpster?
I had a bunch of old sports cards from when I was a kid
I'm
at my
literally
parents'.
being told you've spent thousands and thousands on them, so I don't know what you're
I got cards graded that I want to sell.
And you have not spent thousands on them?
Thousands? No. I spent to get them graded.
The only way they get that information is if you tell them that information?
Thousands? No. I spent to get them graded. It was
sorry. Never mind. I just read it wrong. They said you have thousands and thousands.
Yeah, I have cards worth.
What's it worth? What's your card collection worth?
So the ones that I have graded, I have a bunch of like Paul Skeens, PSA 10s.
How much?
If I
no one know what that means.
If I sold them all right now on eBay, I'd probably make $1,500 to $2,000.
So why not, for the sake of our family, do that?
That's what I've been thinking about doing. But at the same time, I'm like, the one rookie who plays for the Pirates, the local team, he's the best pitcher in the MLB. So it's like, do I sell that now or do I hold on to it because it's going to give it worth?
Let's just get out of debt to meet our future goals that we want to do.
Yeah.
What's more important, a card, a potential day trade of it, or our family? I'm choosing our family. I'm choosing the household. That's what I'm choosing personally.
Type shit.
Yeah, that was.
And you collect too? What the f do you collect?
Manga.
Manga? What the fuck is a manga? Isn't that it's anime something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Japanese
Manga.
comic books.
Okay. How much?
About $20 each, I think. And I have
With the
about 30. Some of them are 30 because some of them are light.
How much?
Total?
Yeah, how many?
I have maybe 15 of them.
Okay, it's not the worst, but it's just, it's priorities of where we're going, man. It's priorities of where we're going. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be kicking into that 22.24% interest rate. Like, that is not the life we want to live in 9 months.
No.
And what is required to pay this off in 9 months is certainly not what you're doing. You're only making the minimum payments. So, what that balance, what was that? $3,092. Yeah. 9 months, you got to do $343.55 a month. Oh, Sam's Club. Okay, we keep going. Luckily, this one's relatively small. It looks like you might pay this one off every month, so I'm not going to write it down as a debt. But right now, it's at $167.69 because you purchased $197.69.
Yeah, that one's for the Sam's Club groceries and gas that we just get there, and I do pay that one off every month. We just opened it maybe 2-3 months ago.
Why are you opening new cards if you can't manage your other cards? I'm glad you've done this well for a few months, but your other cards are showing that you cannot do them well. In fact, you're balance transferring to get out.
Yeah.
To get out of the world of interest. What is suggesting that you are safe enough with credit cards to be able to make it?
Right.
I figured with that one, we only spend that at Sam's Club. That's not a spender that we use.
Which I hope for now. For now, it's 3 months. Look what you've done with your history. It's the history thing. I know that if I have fucking Little Debbie's in my house that historically I eat them. Oh, I did well for a month. I'm okay to have them in the house now. I probably fall back into it. There are just human instincts, and you guys are clearly not good with budgeting or spending or managing or credit cards, whatever it is that we're discovering along.
I hate that he's saying you guys. It's just him. It's just him. Shorty trying to get a green card and live her life. And chill. He has no control over the household. He has no control. Because she probably wanted the TV. She probably wanted that damn couch. Niggas don't need that shit. Niggas could live in a cardboard box and chill. You don't need no damn couch.
Along the way, you might do well for a couple months. This is a dangerous weapon.
With that card never stays in my wallet. It always stays at home unless we are going to Sam's Club.
Okay, for now. I agree with you, and I believe you.
Yeah.
But it is based on your history that this is a ticking time bomb.
And that's what I'm trying to not do with this one is do any of that stuff because I know it's a ticking time bomb. And so that's why I leave it at home and I never want to spend any money on it other than just for our groceries.
Is this the second Discover It?
Yeah, that's my personal Discover.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, also paid off every month.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one that we really hammered down on over the past maybe year and a half. I had a balance on that one of maybe like $4,000 that we just paid off.
But even the spending on this is, it's fucking OpenAI and Microsoft Ultimate. It's like, we can kind of cut that.
Yeah, Microsoft Ultimate is my Game Pass for my Xbox. And the ChatGPT is what I help. It helps me make lesson plans for school and for my homework and stuff.
Future is your children's education, ladies and gentlemen. It's... I'm just saying. the more and more and more we can cut out, the better. Because you are not making enough to survive.
Mm-hmm.
You're a substitute teacher. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Not a
Let's be
wonderful
honest.
job. Yeah.
Yes.
It's stepping stone. Hopefully that stepping stone is done by the end of this year.
Which I'm down for. Yeah. It's just like, I don't think you need this right now.
Yeah. I can agree to that.
Honestly, I'm going to go Dave Ramsey about it, so let me get the hands in the armpits. You know, you shouldn't even have enough time to be playing your Xbox. Looking to get out of debt.
Yo, this thing is stupid.
Okay, and honestly, there's a part of that is true. Yeah. With you in this situation, it's a situational thing. Do I want you to do that forever? No. No one would suggest. People think I'm mean. Oh, work can't spend money. Okay, they're little pussies. The fact is, I want you to actually live a better life, and sometimes you got to make a little bit of a sacrifice in order to do that. Just sacrifice, okay? Temporarily, so we can get to the goal. You guys have a 20-year goal.
Jesus, like...